Coming to London from Barbados, the climate, the sunshine, the stars at night, no street lights, and arriving in London, it was dark, it was dismal, it was grey. The Caribbean, everything is colourful and bright. And that was a culture shock to my young self. Um, Arriving home to meet my mum and dad, it was a bittersweet feeling because I left friends, grandparents, cousins back in the Caribbean. Um, and the first day in primary school was very, very different. We would have classes outside under a tree in the sunshine. This was a very different environment I was used to, but I got used to it. And going on to secondary school was another different concept ever because, you had to stand on your own, especially being of color. The instance of actually feeling the tension of my color was when I went to secondary school. This was a very life-changing thing for me because, to be called names about your color or finding it difficult to make sense of what people think of you, you're just another human being. In 1998, I trained as a teaching assistant and a youth worker. In 1999-2000, I acquired a job working in a primary school with young people with autism and behavior problems. I worked there for 15 years. I had great passion for my job. I went over and beyond what my job title was. In 2016, I had problems with my immigration status. I was told that if I didn't regularize my status, I would have to lose my job and maybe leave the country. It was an arduous time and a stressful beginning. It was heart-wrenching. I I can't think of anybody who could find a place in their life doing a job that they enjoy, especially that sort of job. For me, it was something that I really, really found that I could excel in. In 2017, when they told me that I had to relinquish my employment at the school, I was devastated. My whole life was turned upside down. I know they say men don't cry, but I cried. I came home and I cried. I sat in a corner and thought, where is my life going at this time in my life? There were many mornings I would sit in my kitchen at 6 o'clock in the morning waiting for immigration to knock on my door. And most mornings I would get up at 6 o'clock, dressed, walk on Hampstead Heath, on Kite Hill. That was my sanctity, that was my sanctuary, a place where I could just be with myself and look up and speak to my mum and my dad and my grandparents, because I think they were the only ones who were listening to the situation I was in. It was something I didn't share with anybody because I was really terrified of the normal person walking in the street. Like a tap on the shoulder would be something I would be thinking, it's you they're after, Michael. It's you, you're gone. It took me over a year, 13 months to be precise, to find a situation through lawyers, newspapers. It was an arduous time for me. It was a tough time for me to look at myself at my age, having to be put in this situation because of a government policy that was designed to harm people, especially people like me, who came here with my parents to help build this country, and to now know that I could be deported, lost my job, could lose my flat, could lose everything. It was a moment of damnation for me as a person. It knocked me, and it still affects me to today, although I'm in a situation where I can speak to you now about this. It's something that still haunts me day by day. I'm a second generation Windrusher, and for the Home Office to mislay records or say that they were destroyed, you know, this country has a high level of detail when it comes to dealing with a lot of things. They were the forefathers of this situation, and even to today, I know that people have not been compensated or given an apology in the right way. In my journey on this situation, there were a lot of apologies given from the government to people of the Windrush. But an apology is an apology, but to act on the apology, it was never done. And up to today, I still have reservations about how the government treated people of my age, and are still treating people of my age with contempt. 6 months after applying for my biometric card, I received another letter from the Home Office asking for more detailed information. I contacted my solicitors, who were quite confused. For the amount of information I've given, I should be able to receive my biometric card. We wrote a further letter to the Home Office. 6 months after, we got the same reply. My solicitors asked me to come into the office, and we spoke about how we can resolve this situation. She said to me, would you be willing to go on TV and tell your story? Because you have more documentation than people who have gone before you. So, I was contacted by a Channel 4 interviewer who decided to come and interview me in my house. I told my story. This was a Wednesday evening. It aired on the Thursday. On the Friday, I received a call from the Home Office saying they will issue me with my biometric card immediately. This was so mind-boggling. After all the arduous trouble of searching for documentation which was never to be found, I thought I was dreaming. And then just think of the situation that I've been through, and up to the point where I am now. I was grateful that my situation was resolved, but the pain still lingers in my life up to today. It's something I would never ever forget, or it would never leave me.